Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Monday night and I am full of the cold. So, I thought we'd get this done early and then I'm going for a hot bath and I'm going to put Vicks on my feet and do all sorts of old wife tales because, oh my goodness, I feel rubbish. However, I did want to speak tonight about three different things. Food security, rent and payments. And I'm just pulling this up on the computer just now because I have got no idea how to get this copied over or put it on the video. I don't know. So, what we're going to do is, this is a thing that says the UK imports a large proportion of its food. UK in red, EU in pale blue, US in dark blue. And as we go down the list, we've got fish, maize, which is mainly used as animal feed, vegetable oils, butter, we import 64% of butter, cheese, we import 61%, sugar, we import 52%. Now, that's a lot important. Now, also, I think just up here, let me just see if I can find it, transportation costs for blue is food and beverage and red is all businesses. Transportation costs for food and beverage are 48% increased. And 48% increase, that's huge. And that was released on, I think, the 19th of October or something. I don't know why I haven't seen it yet. And it got me to thinking, if we import, we import like 98% of our fish. What is that about? We're an island, for goodness sake. But if that's what we import and those costs are going up, and if you saw the news today, there should have been somewhere a thing about the European Monetary Zone, Union, whatever, the people that use the euro, their inflation is now up into double digits. And they're thinking it's possibly heading for a recession. Ours is in double digits. So things are not going to cost less anytime soon. And according to that bit that I just read there, whoever it was they were speaking to, that report was on Sky News yesterday, I think. And also on the 19th was where I got those figures. But whoever it was they were speaking to said that most of the stuff in the stores just now is UK based. It's come the festive season and the beginning of next year, that's when a lot of it is going to be imported, and that's when the prices are going to hit. So they are not expecting the food prices to go down anytime soon. They're expecting them to keep going till at least April, May, I would think. They said March, but I'm going for April, May. So that is a lot. That's a good few months that the food security, well, it's not so much food security, the food prices are going to go up. And if there's a problem with food security, like your vegetable oils, obviously Russia stopped the agreement with Ukraine, they could definitely go quite high, as could wheat. Although wheat was a bottom one there, we still do import some, so that could cause a few problems. So that's one thing. So that's made me think I need to go and get some stuff. Like, I definitely need to go and get more sugar because Patrick and I go through sugar in our tea because obviously I'm not sweet enough. But yeah, we go through a lot of sugar. Flour, not so much, but flour products, yes. I do a lot of bread. I do a lot of pasta. So I want to make sure I've got enough of that. So yeah, I'm going to be looking to extend my stockpile in certain areas. Which obviously with sugar, because you don't put oxygen absorbers in with sugar, you just put them in airtight containers, whether that's Mylar bags or buckets or whatever. So I need another bucket of popcorn. Oh dear, what a shame, never mind. So more popcorn for me to get the big bucket to put the sugar in. So yeah, so that's point number one. Point number two was, what was point number two? Oh goodness. We'll go with rents just now. Rents. So Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, has been asking for rent freezes for quite some time now, it seems. And now he's asking for social rent to be frozen. He hasn't even got private rent frozen yet. I'm thinking private rent freezing is a tad more important than social rent freezing, because there's quite a big difference in what people are paying if they're in a socially rented property or if they're in a privately rented property. I'm thinking he should be paying attention to the privately rented properties. I mean, up in Scotland we already have a rent freeze. I think it goes on to March 2023. England and Wales don't have one as yet, as far as I know, unless Wales has put one on that I don't know about. But yeah, rent freeze. There isn't one. And now Sadiq Khan is shouting for a rental freeze on the social landlords. And I have a horrible thought in the back of my head that he might actually get this one, because the social landlords are your housing associations and your local authorities. So all the big companies who own many, many, many properties are not going to be hit with that. So all the people who are shareholders and get dividends from those companies are not going to be hit by that. So they'll be quite happy to put a reduction to socially rented properties, just not privately rented properties. Hopefully I will be proved wrong, but I wouldn't hold my breath, I have to say. And the other thing I've noticed just now is payments. There's a lot of payments have been delayed recently. I know people who do work on a sort of casual basis, and their payments have been delayed, maybe by a few days, maybe by a week. I know some people who work in smaller companies and the work is from a big company. You know, the big company sort of has all these outsourced, thank you, outsourced, that's it. They have work outsourced from the big companies. And there seems to be a wee bit of a habit of, oh no, there's a wee bit problem there. Oh, did we miss the payment deadline? Never mind, we'll pay you next week, we'll pay you next month. If you've already been waiting 2 or 3 months for that payment, that can be a big deal. And I know so many of us are really, really tight with money. But just be wary. Be wary of who's paying you. Check with your colleagues, co-workers, anything like that. If there's any delays, if you run a small company, check with maybe other subcontractors or outsourcers. Make sure the people that are supposed to be paying you are going to pay you. Because when you're sitting there and you can't pay your phone, or you can't put your electricity money in the meter, or you can't put petrol in your car to get to work, it is a vicious circle. And I know there are so many out there who just don't have it. And I think if anyone watching this has any sort of legal expertise, any union expertise, anything like that, who could maybe advise, what do you do? What are your rights? If you've not been paid but you're supposed to do a shift tomorrow, what happens if you can't make it to that shift because you don't have the petrol for the car? So it's not your fault you can't make the shift, it's your employer's fault you can't make the shift, isn't it? I don't know. So if anyone's got the answer to that, I think that could be a really useful thing to know. So yeah, shout out to anyone with legal expertise, union expertise, anything like that. Because, you know, the small companies themselves are really, really struggling. You know, especially if they're not getting paid by bigger companies, or if the prices have gone up so much. You know, there's some employers are trying their damnedest to keep their heads above water, to keep their staff employed, and then they don't get paid. Now, it could be if you've got a decent boss, which I am very lucky I have. If that happened to me, he'd just come and pick me up and take me home at the end of the day. no skin off anyone's nose. But then it would be him that hadn't paid me, so he would try and look after me to make sure until we got the pay through, which is great if that's your own company. But if you're doing casual work or on 0 hours contracts or something, the relationship's not that good and they'll just bring someone else in. So yeah, I have the question. As you can hear by the way I'm speaking, I don't understand how it works. So if anyone does know how it works, can you please let us know in the comments, so that if anyone does get hit with this, they've got half a chance of having some information. So yeah, there you go. That is me. I'm actually feeling not too bad because I've been standing up. But yeah, I'm going to go and take cold and flu remedies. I'm so glad I stocked up on them, and get myself all cozied up in the sitting room. And I will catch you later.